So recently on the channel, I made a video comparing a Brightcore Xenon bow to a Sunbeam Xenon bow. The reason for this was partially for fun, partially for science, because I've had some comments that led me to believe that a Brightcore Xenon bow actually performs as well because it kills in roughly the same amount of shots on giant targets. It's cheaper because Brightcore is typically a lot more available, and it has more durability so you don't have to craft nearly as many. It fires 10% faster, and it's honestly a really good claim. That video is super good. You should check it out down below. It goes very in-depth between the differences, and I'm honestly unsure. I didn't get a conclusive answer on which one was better, and that's kind of the point. If you run a Xenon bow with Brightcore, you might be just fine. My copy remains Sunbeam because I've already supercharged it, I've already invested, and I didn't find Brightcore to be so completely better that I wanted to redo my entire copy, but that inspired me to check out some other weapons. Now, the main argument with the Brightcore versus Sunbeam was killing in the same amount of shots. I do believe that faster firing weapons like ARs and SMGs might still benefit from being Sunbeam totally. That rule still applies. And on paper, Sunbeam does do higher damage per second. However, weapons like the Husk Buster are really strong. It annihilates smashers. If you're critting on every hit, you can kill a smasher in 2 to 5 hits, depending on where you're shooting, how many pellets hit, whether or not you're hitting a headshot, level of your teammates, blah, 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 blah. It is super, super strong. So I figured this would be a perfect contender because I feel like if a Brightcore Husk Buster, if critting, can kill a smasher in the same number of shots as a Sunbeam copy, then it's just kind of better. This weapon is already more than strong enough to just completely annihilate basic husks. It is not a weapon that needs a lot of help, and you can see this is where the stats are different. Sunbeam does 20% more, shoots 10% slower, and has less durability. Technically speaking, I made this little chart so that you guys can see it. Brightcore is the standard expected upgrade path, because if you think about it, something I learned when I made my how to get every item video, there's actually copper ore, silver ore, malachite ore, and then obsidian ore and Brightcore ore. Ore is just kind of the way that you are supposed to upgrade a weapon. So technically, this 3.0 fire rate is standard, and this 300 durability is standard for a scavenger weapon. Normally, weapons go to 375, but it's scavenger, so it's 300. And this is the damage it's supposed to do. Sunbeam gives you that 20% bonus while reducing your fire rate by 10% and your durability by 20%. So I doubt everybody needed that information in its entirety, but I wanted to be very complete for the people who might be watching this that are newer to the game and don't fully understand the difference between Sunbeam and Brightcore. That is why Sunbeam is better on paper. It is definitely the higher damage output. That's why I've been recommending it constantly for years. But let's try out Brightcore just for fun. So here's what I'm going to do, just like I did last time in that Xenon bow video. I have 2 copies, identical. I had actually started supercharging my Husk Buster copy in case you guys needed a recommendation for a weapon. It's an amazing weapon. So I had to remake 2 completely new copies just to test these, and this is the Loadout. Buckshot Raptor in the lead. We're doing Totally Rockin' Out. We're doing big damage today. Battle Beat and Fumble just to get the Totally Rockin' Out active. Shell Shot for some damage. Quick Finger so that we can reload instantly, or well, in half a second with a grenade throw with Chaos Agent. And then Locked and Reloaded is a pretty standard shotgun build. Let's hop in game and check it out. You know what's funny is I want to keep this apples to apples with the Xenon bow video, but if you recall, this is the exact area that I recorded in the Xenon bow video. That's kind of cool. Anyway, starting with the Sunbeam copy just to get a baseline. This is for me and you guys. I want to use this just to see, like, what does a Sunbeam copy feel like? Shockwave is currently bugged in the version of the game I'm recording. Not a big deal, but that's kind of a baseline. So I'm going to find some big targets and see what we can get. All right, so we have a Taker over here. Let's see how many shots it survives. Oh, yeah, that's not exactly surprising. Husk Buster is insanely strong. Have I said that 40 times in this video yet? I think we get the point. All right, little zappy face. Yeah, he would have died in 2 crits. That's about what we would expect. There's another one. You know what? F it, let's kill him too. Here we go. All right, walking up, nice and choppy. Yeah, would have died in 2 crits and then about 4 shots total, but that's because we were out of range with less pellets connecting. All right, we got a smasher. Let's see here. 3 shots. And I'm not exactly counting the shots because obviously whether or not we crit makes a huge difference, but very fast. I think we should just start the defense and get some higher power level targets. All right, defense begins. Let's hope for some big targets because I wanna see a nice baseline. There we go. All right, we got a big target. Nice little 250 power level. Let's see if we can shred it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, that's kind of it. When you're running Buckshot in the lead, that crit is insane. But if you're not running Blast in the past and you play like an idiot, you die pretty quick. Oh, perfect. A smasher. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, shoot. Got to reload. This is where Chaos Agent comes in. Honestly, pretty good damage. That's not surprising. I want to see how many shots we can get on him. All right, a couple of headshots in there. Yeah, so this is really what I want to compare. I want to know exactly how many crits does it take to kill a smasher, and then compare that to the Brightcore copy. All right, we got another smasher. I just realized I don't need to count because we got 12 shots to start. So let's just go from here. So we're not critting very much. We don't have Totally Rocking Out active. That's perfectly fine. Killed it in about 10 shots. It felt like, I don't know, 4 or 5 crits would have killed him there. All right, there's another smasher over there. Let's see if we can get a fumble football. Oh, there's Battle Beat. I guess that's going to be good enough. I don't think I put any traps down. Why is Battle Beat active so often? That was a really fast kill again. Okay, so this one's got some damage on him. That's perfectly fine. Ooh, those crits do so much. Yeah, it looks like about 4 or 5 shots to kill a smasher. That's about what it's going to take. Let's try on some of these fatties. Oh my god. Oh, I thought he was dead. I saw the fire go up, and I honestly thought he was dead. But I love that instant reload from Chaos Agent. It's weird because it's not necessarily needed right now because I'm not exactly shooting anything, but by the time I am in a fight, I'm sure that those grenades will be gone. So, yeah, not too bad. Oh no, Propane, he's gonna get through. Okay, I got him, don't worry, I got him. This weapon is so satisfying. So you'll probably, some of you might be wondering why I'm not really shooting normal enemies this game. This is why. I'm trying to show a baseline for this weapon, how it compares, and nothing survives long enough. This is why the conversation's really about mist monsters, because this weapon just destroys everything, especially running Affliction on it. Nothing's going to survive more than a couple of hits. Well, it's a smokescreen mini boss, but I do have a bit of a tip. Did you guys know smokescreen mini bosses never have an element? So you can just go ahead, pop a war cry, pull out a physical ravager. I'm using crit rating, double crit damage, and then attack speed. And then if you back up, do that. There we go. Nice casual 1.8 million. With Totally Rocking Out active, obviously I'd be critting a lot more, but my Steel Electric Fields seem to be not doing a lot over there. So I'm just gonna suffer. All right, we finally got some more smashers. Yeah, I'm just casually ignoring the mini boss. Woo! That was a clean 5 hits. I feel like that gives me my answer finally. So 5 hits of crits will kill a smasher. That's the number I was looking for. I am just useless on this mini boss. I did pick up a fumble football, so maybe I can do a little bit here. Actually, that seemed to help. Minigun plus some crits. We took down the mini boss. Woo! Can I get a W in the Twitch stream? Oh, Twitch link down below, by the way, if you guys ever want to be a part of these recordings. I record every one of these Fun 160s on stream, including this one. So if you ever want to be a part of the madness, you know, that link's just waiting for you down below. Well, I think we've seen what we need to see. It looks like it takes about 5 hits per crit, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm going to finish out this game off camera, and then we'll move on to the Brightcore copy. Okay, so I changed my light color for the Brightcore copy. If you guys ever want to reference this video in the future, or if me or my editor want to reference any footage, Brightcore is the orange, and then the Sunbeam version of this video is the pink lighting in the background. Hopefully that makes things easier. All right, we got an encampment to bully. Let's see how well the Brightcore copy does. So obviously it's shooting. See, this is what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So like, obviously it's shooting faster, but critting on that nurse, you wouldn't even know it was Brightcore. Seriously, you wouldn't even know it. She died so fast, it didn't even matter. Look at that. That is kind of what we're here to talk about. All right, here to check out another Zappy. See what I'm talking about? Soon as you get a crit in there, it's just dead, and it's not even a problem. All right, little taker test. Okay, yeah, well, that's what we needed to see. It's so ridiculously fast. Like, I tried to keep my cool for the video, and I started laughing so much at the stream. Like, it died in 2 shots. What am I supposed to say? Recording some of these weapons is so difficult because the clips are so short. These videos would be like 2 minutes long if I didn't talk for a little bit. All right, going straight into the 250s. Couldn't find any extra smashers, but I think we saw what we needed to see. I've got, these are not all mine, but I've got a couple of Steel Electric Fields down just to get Battle Beat active like before. I'm going to look for big targets and try to compare. All right, we got a Mist Monster tagged by a Ceiling Electric Field. I'm getting bullied by a tree branch, but it died pretty fast either way, so I'm not exactly worried about that one. Okay, got another Zappy face. Let's see, with Battle Beat active, hopefully I could crit a lot more. Yeah, they're dying just as fast. This is like I said before, if you weren't well aware I'm running Brightcore, you might not even tell. Like, even the Sunbeam copy would have failed right there where it wasn't critting. It doesn't seem any different. Do I save Storm God or do I get the clip? Yo, nobody ever can say I'm a bad teammate. Look at that, 2 shots. Now, technically that took 3 with the little Ben's War Cry in there, yeah. But, ooh, so it seems like it's falling just shy. I don't know if that's because it's actually doing less damage or if it's because I'm not hitting every single pellet. You gotta remember, this is a shotgun after all. It'll do more damage the more pellets that hit the target. Against these baby zombies, though, even a propane counts as a baby zombie versus the Husk Buster. It doesn't really seem to make a difference. Everything dies business as usual. So far, I'm not making any claims yet. So far, I think the BRIGHTCORE Husk Buster is just a direct upgrade, especially considering the fact that this is a scavenger weapon. So that lower durability around 240 is very significant. Going back up to 300 makes this weapon last a lot longer and potentially a lot more viable as BRIGHTCORE. Hey, we got a 250 power level taker. I'm sorry, we had a 250 power level taker. So that's another instance where even though it seems like the enemies keep getting left on 1 HP, because we're shooting 10% faster, it totally makes up for it. Like, it's just dying. Just dying. This weapon is barred by nothing. Look at this. Easy 2-shot. Like, what the hell? Even if I leave it on 1 shot, I barely mentioned the affliction on this weapon, it's gonna die anyway. It's so strong, even as BRIGHTCORE, that I'm leaning Team BRIGHTCORE. We need to see some smashers before I make any final decisions, but this is looking really good for those of you who thought BRIGHTCORE would impress, because I'm honestly digging it. And this brings back the discussion that I had in the Xenonbo video, where realistically, all right, I've always been an on-paper YouTuber. I've always had to have math supporting my claims. I've never tried to be an opinion-based YouTuber. In these Fun 160s videos, I have a little bit of fun. I share my opinion, I share my thoughts. I go a little bit outside of the raw science. But what that's done to me is it's made me rely completely on Sunbeam, because on paper it is better. I stand by that. You will do more damage output with Sunbeam. And I do believe for SMGs and ARs, I think the jury's still out on that. Maybe I need to make some videos covering those next. But for high damage weapons like shotguns and bows and snipers, I feel like BRIGHTCORE is something that I just have completely overlooked. It's given me this impression that Sunbeam's better always, which it is on paper, but as you can see, in reality, in game, when you start using the weapon, I said it earlier, I'll say it again, you probably, if you didn't know what kind of video this was, wouldn't even know this was a BRIGHTCORE copy. If I gave this to a noob or even a pro and told you to just use this weapon blindly, you might not even be able to tell the difference. Apologies for all the deaths, by the way. I keep running straight to these mist monsters without looking at my surroundings. I haven't played Fortnite in like a week as of recording, and so I'm failing here pretty bad. Trap vulnerable mini boss. Normally I'd be upset, but since the last one was smokescreen and I couldn't really do anything to that one, it's fine. All right, we have smashers. Last second of the video. I don't think I'm gonna get my 5-hit crits. I can't even get close enough to do optimal damage without getting hit by everything around me, but honestly, I think we've seen what we need to see. Even if I'm not killing it in 5 hits and instead I'm killing it in 6, I honestly, from what I've seen today, believe that the BRIGHTCORE Husk Buster is just the better option. It's weird because I've already invested in Sunbeam, and I don't know if it's so much better that I'll unsupercharge them and level up a different copy, because as an endgame player with friends online, I don't really worry about expense. But if you're somebody who is concerned about expense, I might start recommending a BRIGHTCORE Husk Buster. It seems to be cheaper for effectively the same amount of kill time. I don't want to say it's the same amount of damage. It's not. But if you're killing in the same amount of shots, what's the difference? So yeah, pretty conclusive outcome in my opinion. If you guys want to argue me, comment down below. If you agree, comment down below. If you want to see me check out future weapons comparing Sunbeam to BRIGHTCORE, I think that could be a fun series just to see which weapons work and which weapons don't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Twitch link down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye. And then